I'm Nate, I'm here with Nick, a talented young attorney from HoganWillig, and we're talking about changes in the law regarding cannabis. So what is going on in New York State right now and across the country?
So at the end of March 2021, the New York State Legislature took the very exciting step of legalizing recreational marijuana use throughout the state.
So let me cut you off. So right now in New York State, it's legal to use, consume, smoke cannabis, correct?
That is correct for individuals 21 and over.
But what about the federal law? The federal law across the country it's still illegal under federal law.
It is. Federal law has not changed yet. We hope that it will within the next 2 to 3 years at the very least, but as of today, it has not yet changed, which leaves a lot of questions unanswered for folks.
I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but people are in a gray area because if you're in a job that's somehow related to the federal government, you still have to drug test. But what about everybody else? Can you drug test if you're an employer because marijuana use is legal?
And that's exactly why it's a tough question. There's no hard and fast answer, so to speak, on whether an employer can drug test an employee for a substance that is now legal. I think what it really comes down to is a question of reasonableness.
Right.
What I mean by that is that an employer, it's really observational in that is alleged substance use outside of the workplace for a substance that is now legal somehow impacting the employee's ability to perform the job.
So the question is he doing his job well?
Correct.
Otherwise, in most circumstances, it doesn't matter if he's using or he or she is using marijuana at home. If they can perform their job well, who cares? So like alcohol use or any other type of substance abuse. But can you test even for marijuana? Does a test work? For example, if someone seems like they're impaired at work, a test doesn't really do the job because marijuana is different than alcohol.
Right. You could certainly test if you believe that someone's job performance is being impaired by the use of alcohol or marijuana, whatever it might be. The problem is that testing for marijuana use isn't necessarily as good as it is for alcohol because there's no real on the spot test on the market right now.
Because it's fat soluble and it stays in the body for a long time. So someone can claim I was not impaired at work. I was doing a great job. You are penalizing me for something I was doing at home legally. So what do you do if you're an employee who's not breaking the law, or you're an employer who's trying to make sure that you have a well-managed workplace? What do you do, Nick? Give us some advice.
Well, let's put ourselves right in that situation. If I'm an employee and I am either going to be tested or I am being tested, or there's some problem with marijuana use in the workplace, the first thing I'm going to do is turn to my employer's employee handbooks, policies, workplace rules, things like that. Conversely, if I'm an employer, as soon as this law is passed, I want to go out and update my policy so that these rules are in place and it doesn't leave any questions unanswered or any expectations unaddressed for my employees.
So this is a complex issue, but I think the short answer is if you're an employer, you need to get a good workplace policy that's clear and transparent and everyone's aware of. And if you don't have it, you should update your employee handbook. And they can read, we did a newsletter about this, correct? And people can read more?
Absolutely. It contains a lot more detail and a lot of what employers and employees should be doing.
Thanks, Nick. You can subscribe and learn more or check out the newsletter, and we will keep doing these, won't we?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, talk to y'all soon.